Legendary hip-hop producer Ninth Wonder sat down with Math Hoffa talking about his experience working with Jay-Z and speaks about how Jay-Z changed the game for hip-hop producers forever. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this video and give my 2 cents. That way you walk away with double the value. You ready? Let's get into it.
Now that we're in this internet era and YouTube and everything, there are like 1 million producers all over YouTube posting up their beats. I go to sessions with people and I'll listen to the music. I'll be like, yo, this is fire. Who made this? I don't know. I got it off YouTube.
Exactly, that happens.
How do you feel about that? Being someone who's probably made $1 million a couple times off of production.
A couple times. What?
Yeah, no, but not okay.
What? I know what I made.
Several kind of keeps that on.
Chill. We just got finished talking about the taxes.
Without me pocket watching.
You gotta pay him. You gotta pay that man. It's a real thing.
We don't need to bring his attention over. Yeah.
Several, right?
Right.
How do you feel about these producers that just be uploading their beats on YouTube?
I think they're just adjusting to the time. You know, we live in a generation where people are not as sociable as they can and want to be.
Right.
They came with the introduction of cell phones and texting, right? It's just, and especially now for COVID, you really can't be.
Right.
So I just think it's just the kids just adjusted to the time because wasn't accessible to, first you weren't accessible to your own home studio. That's number one. And then you get to carry over to, you could just not send your beats to anybody. If you hit somebody in the DM and they answer, it's like, oh shit. Right. So it's just adjustment to the time for me. The only thing I think that they miss out on, and they tell me all the time they miss out on, is the fact that they really want to learn how to produce. And you can only learn how to produce by being with the artist or guiding the artist through the record.
Right.
That's the part I think they miss out on the most. And that's not coming from me. That's coming from the youngest. Like, man, after a while you get beats, you get money or whatever. But like my man said, it's not, you want to master the art first.
Yes, that's an interesting point that Ninth Wonder made there. You know, as producers / beat makers, a lot of people are just emailing beats, putting up type beats up there, sending it out, and possibly getting the song back from the recording artist. If you do get the song back from the recording artist, sometimes there can be those little moments where you're like, ooh, I would have had them say that over, or I would have had them change those 3 lines right there in the hook. And since you just sent the beat over as a beat maker, then you didn't really have too much of an opportunity to influence the final song. And that's definitely something that I picked up on when I actually started learning how to record. So learning how to record, I, have different artists come in, make songs, and in the process, I'm coaching them through things. I'm saying, hey, redo that ad lib, or while they're rapping or while they're singing, I'll even like sing or hum a counter melody going on, and then they'll go ahead and add it into the song. So if you're a producer or a beat making producer, learn how to record, get a microphone, get an interface, because that role as the older school traditional producer where you're actually working with artists is definitely going to become way more important, especially as the AI age starts to advance. Right now, there are type beat producers who are definitely doing their thing on YouTube and other places, but eventually AI might start to get really good at emulating those sounds that they're posting. So one thing that they can't emulate with AI is the experience. I've picked up on artists sometimes just want to spend time with me recording, just kicking it. It's almost like the barbershop to a certain degree. We're definitely doing business because they're paying for studio time, but at the same time, I get the feeling that this is kind of an escape. They just want to be creative with another person there, as opposed to just doing a lot of stuff at home by themselves, or maybe even with a producer or a person who they just don't too much have that much chemistry with. So producers, if you are, missing that aspect of production, definitely try to get into studio sessions if you can. But if you want to take it to the next level, definitely learn how to record on your own.
The best way you master being a producer is if you sit down in a session you're able to quarterback the session. And a lot of kids ain't able to do that, man, for so many different reasons. The social skills ain't there. The social cues ain't there. A ton of things, but they want to learn how to do that because they know that's what separates them from everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say was the best record you've produced?
Is She the Reason by Destiny's Child. Because,
I love that song. I love that song.
I mean, you know my history for the most part. I came in with Little Brother. I thought I was gonna produce for like, just the way my beats sounded. I thought I was gonna produce for like Mos and Kweli and Common and the way they sounded. Go that way. But my first mainstream record was a Jay-Z record. That's my first mainstream. Most people work all of their career to get to a Jay-Z. Sometimes they meet Jay-Z in the middle of, that's not their landing their first record. And on the album that was on the Black Album was supposed to be his last one, right?
Right.
But then I get in the studio with the #1 ranked girl group in the world in 2004.
How did it happen?
I'm really looking. Jay called me. He called me on the phone. After the Black Album.
Put that knife in you. Took a little bit of life. Love that record, bro. I used to be playing that all the time. Like, I love that record.
That record changed my life, man. But he, you know, because Jay is probably the only producer in rap music history to make producers famous. You know what I mean? Most producers make rappers famous, but he said your name if he said your name on your beat.
True.
It was the tags before tag.
Yeah, it just became the tag.
You know, you niggas must have got 9 lives, 9 1. Just blazing the blazettes. If he said that, it's like it's a thing.
Yeah.
So after the Black Album,
song.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
After the Black Album, especially after the premiere of Fade to Black, he called me and he said, "Man, the same BCD you played for me, I want you to send to this address." And he gave me an address. I'm like, "What's the address?" He said, "Just send it to this address." And I was like, "Who is it?" He's like, "It's Destiny's Child. I want you to send the same beats to Destiny's Child." And I did it. So I sent it to them.
Did you understand at that moment? Did you scratch your head and be like,
I was like,
how come?
Okay, dog. Like, and I just sent it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason why he asked for it, because the night I played beats for Jay, Beyonce was in there anyway. She was there the night I played beats for Jay the first time.
Right.
So she heard everything I played for Jay. And so they were really going into the album thinking they wanted their sound to sound like the group, The Emotions, the R&B group, the old group.
Dope.
And I went to LA. They flew me out to LA. There was only a few of us that actually got to be in the studio with Destiny's Child, a few of us producers. And I flew to LA out there, and they said, "You're gonna meet a writer at the airport." I said, "Okay." And they gave me the writer's number. We on the phone. He's like, "Yo, Knife, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah, blah, blah." And that writer was Sean Garrett. That was the writer.
The Pen.
The Pen.
Yeah.
And so we get to LA. He said, "Man, let's go to the mall." We go to the mall and we walk in the Foot Locker, and Usher's "Yeah" comes on the speaker. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a chick of mine." And I was like, "Yo, you wrote that?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Damn, what else you working on?"
Right.
He said, "I just wrote a song for this girl from Atlanta. I wrote a song called Goodies."
Sierra.
Right.
Crazy.
You know, that's an interesting point that Ninth Wonder just brought up there, his relationship with Sean Garrett. A lot of producers want to just go for quick sales in this generation, just post type beats all day, and hopefully someone would just start giving them their, PayPal transactions. But your relationships with songwriters can go quite a long way. In my Heat Check live beat review show here on YouTube, that's one of the recommendations I give to producers, especially when I start to hear that their sound is developed and they've created their own signature sound. You may want to start reaching out to songwriters so you can take the beat from just being a beat by itself to actually creating an incredible song, and you two actually work on selling songs as opposed to just the beat by itself. And the reason that I say that is, once again, sometimes producers just look for those quick beat lease transactions, but that relationship with the songwriter can go a long way. You're creating a real asset that can pay you for years and years and years and years to come if that song gets placed somewhere. So producers, please, if you've gotten to the point where you've developed your own sound, reach out to different songwriters on Instagram, YouTube, in person, different music events. Don't feel like you need to just go straight for quick and quote unquote easy beat sales. Work with songwriters. I promise you it's going to take you a long way. Let's get back to the video.
So I'm like, all right. So we go to the studio, and the first record we did was "Is She the Reason?" And the single off that album, one of the singles off that album was Girl. Girl was my first single, right? And it was the first song I had a video for. No other song I had a video, right? was Girl, the Sex in the City type video.
Right.
That's the first song I had a video for. And it made, you know, it made the album, of course. I had 3 on that album. But it also made Destiny's #1s. It made the greatest hits.
Wow.
So I'm getting from both ways, right? But Is She the Reason is the one because I think that's the one that kind of made me say, well, I can produce for anybody. I'm just not just doing boom bap beats for like Jay and Little Brother and Merce and De La Soul. Now I can produce for anybody now. And she told me to look dead at me and say, I said, I'm going in the session thinking, Survivor, Bills, all those records. Man, I can't do that. That's not my bag.
Right.
But she asked me.
Were you nervous?
As hell. And she told me, she said, I want you to do you. We got you here to do you.
Right.
So I want you to chop up your samples. That's what I want from you. And 3 records came out of that.
That's a powerful point. So producers, instead of chasing different sounds, different popular styles of production, you know, if you really, really hone in and master your craft and master the style of beats that you make, attract the style of artists that you like working with, and, you know, really create your reputation, you never really know who may be listening to your production or some of the songs that you create with different indie artists. So once again, you don't have to chase for the top spot, the Drakes, the Kendricks, the G Herbos, Lil Durk, all these other top-notch artists. There are still those independent artists who are looking for quality production and looking to really cement themselves in the music game. And maybe they are going the indie route the whole time. You know, you don't always have to go for that top-notch mainstream success. And like Beyonce told Ninth Wonder, we want your style. We want your sound. So you never know who might be listening to your productions, producers. Get out there, work with songwriters, work with indie artists. Still, of course, post your type beats online, but spread yourself out there because you never know who might be listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com where you can get free FL Studio Patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, everything you need to level up your music production. Once again, go to DesmondASounds.com or click the link in the description. Go there now and totally transform your music production.